Slaves of fear, man. Slaves of fear. Man, that's an aggressive title. And it should be. Looking around and dealing with a lot of the people, man, I deal with on a day-to-day basis, from far and near, I see a lot of people in this society that are slaves of fear. That's why lack of fulfillment, lack of purpose, lack of being happy, man, that word, content, having inner peace and clarity, that's why it is almost non-existent, man. It's lacking because people are slaves of fear. Slave, man, to be owned by something, to be forced to work for. Man, people today are owned by their fear. Man, it consumes their life. It drapes over them. Fear, man, that fear of change, that fear of walking into the unknown, stepping across that gap, starting that new business, starting into that new program, changing your life, man, scared. Man, a slave of fear. Man, I've been scared in my life many times. But being scared, man, that's a child's thing. We got to grow past that, man. You can have some fear. Fear is just recognizing that something might be a risk. Fear often is a reminder of what you need to be aware of. That's what fear is, man. Man, you go out in the ocean, man, you're a little fearful of what's underneath. Yeah, man, because there's sharks and monsters swimming underneath, man. It's reasonable. It's what you do with it, man. Does it stop you from doing that ocean swim? If it does, well, then you're being a slave of your fear. Now let's break this down. How do we rise above that, man? How do we grow past that? Well, dude, I just stomped on something. Oh, a little splinter in my foot, man. Doesn't matter. Man, I ain't scared. Man, a slave of fear is someone that just wants to be safe, man. They would rather be comfortable in their known agony than push into, man, possibly a much better life, but it's unknown. Push into that unknown, man. Really identify, why aren't you making that change? What are you fearful of? Spending the money? Man, you spend tons of it going out, drinking, fearless, right? People are fearless regarding their vices. Man, and they act like scared mere mortals trying to go into ventures of development and growth. Why? Why is that, man? It's because, man, that immediate gratification, they know that immediate pleasure, man, at least it's gonna, right, it can conquer that known, that consequence. Man, a slave of fear, man. So, I'll give you an example. A lot of people reach out to me through my website, dude, a lot. And they'll respond, a long breakdown of their life and what's going on and what they need help with. And man, they know they need to change. I say, all right, let's do it. No reply. I'll wait that, I'll get them back the next day. Hey man, you reached out, man, what's going on? Man, no reply. Look, scared. Scared because now the rubber's met the road. Now you got to write the check. Now you got to put your money where your mouth is. Now you got to actually change. Scared. Let's go hide back in our hole. That's how it goes. Don't be that slave of fear, man. It's too important to be better than that. People that are successful, people that are at the top, people that are doing big things, man, at that elite levels of in any regard, man, they conquered their fear. Fear is very healthy. Man, it's reasonable to be cautious of an investment. Man, it's reasonable to be thinking of the risks. That's fair. That shows that you're intelligent, man, and you're not dangerous. You're not, that you're aware of what's going on. You're situationally aware. That's fine. But what do you do with that situational awareness? Do you get so scared in your analysis paralysis that you don't move? Man, that ain't good. That's not benefiting you. You're staying right where you're at. Be self-aware. Be aware of what you're scared of. Man, why? Get down to the root. Get down to the why you're scared. Because once you identify the why, man, now we can identify the how do we conquer that. And the who do we have to be to conquer it. I promise you, I was fearful so many stages in my life. I was fearful of going into SEAL training and failing and ended up being in the Navy on a boat, which I didn't want. I was fearful of the running, man. I was fearful of every time I was going up the obstacle course and going up the cargo net, man. I'm scared of, fearful of heights. Man, I'm terrible, not so stoked on sharks, man, swimming around. Man, fear, tons of it. Didn't let it deter me because the end state was too important. The goal was bigger than my fear, and that's the point. Man, I was terrified of giving up drugs. I was of opiates and all that. Man, I was terrified of going in the Foreign Legion and going back to the bottom. But I was more terrified of being fucking average. Man, you should be so fearful of being average and not living up to your full potential that it will crush any other fears at lower levels. Man, be relentlessly courageous in your pursuit of excellence. Because it's the only thing, man, that goal, that vision, that's what's going to be able to conquer your fear. Why? The why, man, the who you're becoming in the process. You're going to experience fear along the way. But you want that vision so big, so strong, so powerful, your why, that the how doesn't matter, man. The how's easy. Evolve yourself into that who, man. That epic, powerful who isn't deterred by fear, isn't a slave of their own fear. Man, rise above. Break those fucking chains off. Be smart. Out here.